Lakeland University, Seabart, Tri-City National Bank, Big Fish Contracting, Steamfitters Local 601, CertaPro Painters, Surfside, Callan Construction, Lake Lawn Resort, CD1 Price Cleaners, Central Standard Craft Distillery, Infinity Exteriors, Boucher Automotive, and Network Health.
I see it every time there's a big storm. Trucks roll in from out of town. Promises are made to fix damaged homes, and afterward they completely vanish. My dad never ran Loyal Family Renovations like that. We're family-owned and local. Our own in-house crews respond fast, and roofing always comes first. Loyal Family Renovations knows insurance inside and out, and we actually have a dedicated warranty department. We're always there when you need us. Call for a free inspection today. We treat each client like family and each home as if it were our own. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
A question I'm often asked, if I've been hurt in an accident, should I call a lawyer?
Pat Dunphy, Canada Dunphy.
If someone caused your injury, you need advice from an experienced lawyer on how to preserve evidence, document your losses, and protect yourself from the insurance company. But why can't I trust the insurance company? Despite clever, funny insurance company ads, they're in the business of making money. Paying as little as possible to you is good business for them, but not for you. I'm Pat Dunphy. Call Canada Dunphy.
Hey Brewers fans, as you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether it's keeping your current heating and cooling system running smoothly or upgrading to a new one, your local Carrier dealer has got you covered. Plus, now's the perfect time to step up your comfort game with rebates up to $2,100 on select systems or 0% interest for 60 months for qualified buyers now through May 31st. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local participating dealer at carrier.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine Specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit oawspinecenter.com.
Welcome to Wisconsin's Afternoon News. We're going to take a look at your traffic and weather and then breaking Bucks news. Debbie Lozica, how are the roads?
Well, we've got a crash on the ramp from 175 southbound to eastbound 94 in the stadium interchange. The right shoulder is blocked with that, so we are definitely seeing delays basically from Hawley Road through that whole area all the way to 35th. On the westbound side of 94, slowing down from 27th Street to Hawley Road. We got southbound 43 backing up just before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. We've also got northbound 41 backing up before Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. The southbound side heavy from before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 46. Tomorrow, rain chances, a high of 66. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 58. Sunday, mostly sunny as well, a high of 61. Right now in Milwaukee, it is currently 62 degrees and partly cloudy.
And we do start, Julia, with that breaking news. Your Milwaukee Bucks may have a new head coach. ESPN Shams Charania reporting Taylor Jenkins and the team are finalizing a deal. According to sources, Jenkins was a Bucks assistant back in the 2018-19 season, then spent 6 years with the Memphis Grizzlies, made the postseason 3 times. Young guy, just 41 years of age, and that 1 year as an assistant in Milwaukee. The team themselves have not yet confirmed this or made it official, but that is Shams reporting for ESPN. Milwaukee Bucks and Taylor Jenkins finalizing a deal to make him the new head coach of the Bucks.
Interesting, and he played in Milwaukee, or he was a coach, assistant coach, right?
For that 1 year, yep.
For that 1 year. Interesting. All right, we're going to stay on top of that. And we're staying on top of Brewers news. It looks like the final, gosh, they were tied. Gosh, they almost made it. It ended 4-5. The Detroit won. That's unfortunate. We have Dom Cotroneo. He joins us, our Brewers insider, with the very latest. Dom, were you watching? Oh, I'm sorry. I see you sitting there, so I thought that maybe you weren't at the game. But yeah, sorry.
will say though, Dom, he didn't end the way we wanted, but there were some things, especially after those first few innings, seemed to work against a guy like Scuball that maybe you can compartmentalize when the Brewers take on the Pirates and Paul Skeens coming up. There were a lot of bunts today.
Okay, let's talk about injuries. How's Quinn Priester doing?
Something else was curious, Dom. Actually, a pretty scary situation down in the minors for the Crew. Our shortstop prospect, Luis Pena, who's currently in Single A with the Timber Rattlers, he had to go to the hospital after overheating in the dugout. That game was called early. Have you ever seen anything like that happen?
stop fall and freak out. So luckily, it sounds like everybody is okay. I do not expect him in the lineup today for the Timber Rattlers, but it seems like the Brewers are happy with the way that he's able to recover and be moving forward.
Okay, so looking ahead to the next series, what do the Brewers need to do?
Win. But
Just win, baby.
The thought the thought for this Pirates series coming up is they are certainly better than they were last year and even the last couple of years. Pirates have made some additions to their offense. Paul Skeens is starting this rotation, and the Brewers, making history these 2 days, facing the Cy Young Award winner, the award given to the best pitcher in baseball in each respective league each year. They're facing him on back-to-back starts, which normally is almost impossible to happen. So they have their work cut out for them against Skeens tomorrow. But the fact of the matter is the Brewers' offense, in addition to the bullpen like I opened with, but the offense, we can like small ball all we want, but you still need to have a little bit more sustained offense like we saw on Tuesday night when they scored 12 runs. You're not expecting 12, but somewhere, where you can get the doubles, get the homers, mix in the small ball with the long ball, and good things tend to happen.
He is your Brewers insider and host of Brewers Extra Innings, Dom Cotroneo. Dom, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
321 on WTMJ. Do you remember in November of last year?
Sweet. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Father, he was considered suspicious in connection to a deadly fire, an apartment fire that killed his 3 children. He's just been charged. I just got my hands on the criminal complaint. Details from court records next.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life. At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work. Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. Search AXIS Legal today.
Hi, I'm Jane. Before moving to Capri Communities, my daughter spent more time helping me with chores than enjoying our visits. Now she comes over and we can go to concerts, we enjoy delicious meals, and participate in activities that are always happening. I choose senior living so that our time together can be more about fun than fixing things. And I love the freedom it gives me every day.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at capricommunities.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. James' client, Amy Simonson, IT administrator with Professional Services Group.
We have several locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Having them all under one company has been very helpful.
Big or small, one location or several, James Imaging Systems is your one-stop business technology resource.
And they are on top of everything. When we have a problem, it's answered right away.
James Imaging Systems, IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and unrivaled local service and support.
And they're always looking for what else can we do? What else do you need? So they want our company to succeed as well as their own.
Let James Imaging Systems help your business succeed. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
325 on WTMJ. Julia Fellow here alongside Adam Roberts and for John Mercure. Wanted to get you up to date on this terrible, terrible case that happened last year. A Kenosha father, he's charged now in connection to the 3 deaths of his children who died in an apartment fire. It became suspicious when he didn't have a scratch on him while rescuers were pulling out the children from the fire, aged 7, 9, and 10 years old, with 80 to 100% burns on them. They all died. And the court records against him shows massive negligence allegations, and that's what he's charged with, causing death, including that he saw a little fire on the kitchen floor, he told investigators. Quote, a tiny little thing. Then he decided to evacuate the home himself and bang on the neighbors' doors, then called 911 outside of the apartment with the children still inside. He told investigators when he tried to get back, the flames were too big and he could hear the screams of his children. All of the windows to the apartment were boarded up, shut. And when investigators asked why, he said it was to prevent burglars from getting in so the children could not escape. He also did not have a working smoke alarm in the apartment. He took one down before the fire happened because it kept making noise. That's usually when you need to change the battery out. Fire investigators found a burner on the stove was left on. They say that caused the fire. And in interviews, to make matters worse for this case against this man, Joshua Kanan, 39 years old, he admitted that he left items on the stove. The mother of the children described the man's house as a fend-for-yourself parenting style. And the landlord said that she had tried to get into the apartment. He was delinquent on paying his rent, and that it smelled very, very bad of cat urine. So there were so many different signs of things going wrong, especially even for him, that, maybe I should let the kids out. So now he is being charged 3 counts of neglecting a child, causing death. He faces, this 39-year-old, 75 years behind bars. It's 3:28 on WTMJ.
Let's take a look at your markets now, your anti-squalf management market update. President Trump just a few moments ago speaking at the White House, claiming stocks were ending the day at an all-time high. The numbers would indicate otherwise. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all in the red on the day. The Dow finishing below 50,000 points at 49,310. The NASDAQ at 24,438, and the S&P 500 sitting at 7,108 points. That's down 30 points on the day. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Give me an extra large deep dish with sausage and green peppers.
Sir, this is Hasselus Mattress.
Throw in some breadsticks, too.
We don't have breadsticks.
Oh, well, give me some of them mozzarella sticks then.
We don't sell pizza. We sell mattresses from Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more for way less.
I think I've got a coupon somewhere.
You won't need a coupon for these everyday deals. Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,459, but Hasselus has it for just $794.
Running any specials?
Yes. Through Monday, get an additional $248 off your new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress just for shopping local.
Do you deliver?
Free next day delivery and haul away of your old mattress.
Great. Step on it, will you? I'm really hungry.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, we may have a new Bucks coach.
I'm Adam Roberts. A lawsuit targets illegal sports betting right here in Wisconsin.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got a new crash now, westbound 94, just past Calhoun. Looks like the left lane is blocked. Emergency crews and ambulances and fire trucks are on the scene, so try and give them a wide berth if you can. We do have delays coming in from before Moreland Road. We also still have this accident on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 eastbound in the stadium interchange. Right now, westbound 94 is still backed up from 27th Street to Hawley Road, eastbound from Hawley to 35th. Southbound on 894, you've got backups from National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Keeping an eye on the skies this evening, we could see showers and thunderstorms rolling through with a low of 57. They'll linger into the morning tomorrow, otherwise mostly cloudy with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, we're at 64 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 331.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 10 people have been shot at a mall in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this afternoon. The police chief says it's not a random act of violence.
Looking through surveillance videos, it looks like it was kind of a targeted. 2 groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
We do not know the conditions of those victims.
New information from the NTSB, who's released a preliminary report into the March 22nd crash at LaGuardia Airport in New York between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck. CBS's Cami McCormick.
Investigators say the firefighter whose truck collided with the jet heard an air traffic controller warn stop, but didn't know who it was for. After that initial warning, the truck's turret operator heard the controller say truck 1 stop. But by that time, the truck was already on the runway as the Air Canada flight was landing and speeding toward it. Investigators say an air traffic controller had cleared the truck to cross the runway just 12 seconds before the plane touched down. Both pilots on the jet were killed.
Roughly 40 passengers and crew members on that plane were also injured.
A teen is now under arrest after a deadly hit and run on Milwaukee's near west side. Happened just after 9 o'clock this morning near 13th Street and near King Park. A car hit a pedestrian and took off. A 35-year-old was killed there. And then officers later found the car driving recklessly near 15th and Cherry. The people inside ran off when police tried to stop it. A 17-year-old boy later returned to the scene and was arrested. Police are still looking for more suspects.
A man from Kenosha now facing charges after a fire killed his 3 children last year on Thanksgiving Day.
The fire in an apartment near 43rd Avenue and 52nd Street killed 10-year-old Riley, 9-year-old Connor, and 7-year-old Elena Cannon on Thanksgiving night. 39-year-old Joshua Cannon is charged with 3 felony counts of child neglect resulting in death. He's scheduled to appear in court next month. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Our state's Department of Justice is suing several companies over accusing them of illegal sports betting. The lawsuit says Kalshi, Robinhood, Coinbase, Polymarket, Crypto.com, and other affiliates disguise sports betting as event contracts that pay out like traditional bets. Here's the Attorney General, Josh Call.
The companies collect a fee, we allege, for every bet that's made, leading them to earn significant revenue from Wisconsinites through violations of our state's gambling regulations. So we are asking the court in this case to declare that making sports-related events contracts available for trading by customers in Wisconsin is a violation of Wisconsin statutes.
We will be following this court case.
A family in Sussex turning tragedy into action.
It is such an unspeakable loss.
5-year-old Finn Katona was killed last year when he was struck by a school bus outside of his school. The Katona family has reached a confidential monetary settlement with the school district and bus company. But attorney Timothy Trechik says the family's focus is now on safety improvements, including a new initiative which aims to prevent similar tragedies.
Finn's rule will incorporate enhanced safety training for all Student Transportation of America bus drivers nationally, which encompasses approximately 23,000 drivers.
The new safety training is expected to roll out later this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Alzheimer's affects about 100,000 Wisconsin residents, and Ascension's Dr. Michelle Braun says just 9% of people know what to do to improve brain health. She tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
Multiple lifestyle factors make a huge difference, but if you really look at the most weighty one of those, the one that gives us the best ability to lower our risk in the future, it's cardiovascular exercise. It actually increases the density of our memory area, which is really hopeful, and we see that happen within minutes.
Dr. Braun says that even a daily 5-minute boost of cardio can improve your brain health.
Time now for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. ESPN's Shams Charania is reporting the Milwaukee Bucks are finalizing a deal that would make Taylor Jenkins the franchise's new head coach.
I'm not aware of any involvement from Giannis in this search process, but this day and moving forward is really a dawn of a new era in Milwaukee as far as culture.
Jenkins was an assistant with the Bucks during the 2018-19 season, then served as head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies for 6 seasons, heading to the postseason 3 times. A walk-off homer beats the Brewers in Detroit, a 5-4 loss for Milwaukee to the Tigers. The Crew are back home Friday night to face the Pirates in Game 1 of a 3-game series. And it's night 1 of the NFL Draft in Pittsburgh. The Packers currently own 8 selections these next 3 days, but none of them come in the first round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:36.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Is retirement getting closer? If you don't feel prepared and have questions about how your financial life might look after 65, Annex can help. Maybe you manage things on your own, or maybe you wonder if your current advisor and plan aligns with your expectations. It might be a good time to see what Annex Wealth Management can do for you. Annex is also very visible with financial education. Webinars every week with topics ranging from inflation, jobs and the economy, tax strategies, and helping keep you informed and stay prepared when the market fluctuates. Join Annex Wealth Management on April 30th at Aspen Sky Winery and Distillery in Slinger for The Art of Giving, Tax-Savvy Strategies for Greater Impact. Discover how to maximize both your charitable impact and tax efficiency. Join them by clicking events at annexwealth.com. That's annexwealth.com. Fee-only fiduciary all the time. I've trusted them for many, many years. Know the difference like I do with Annex Wealth Management.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
3:37, Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Adam Roberts, Julia Fellow with you on a Thursday. New information on home sales just dropped earlier this morning, Julia, as you're beginning your house journey right now. How's that going, by the way?
It's going good. Closing date is May 29th.
Ooh, that's coming up real soon, or about a month from now. A little over a month. Well, we've been talking a lot about, in the last couple of months or so, where are interest rates going? What are sales like? What does inventory look like? Well, we got the new data out, and we talked about it in March, and we're basically saying the same thing now in April that we were a month ago. Basically, everything, according to the newest report out from the Wisconsin Realtors Association, would indicate home sales and prices in the month of March basically flat. So home sales did go up about 7%, but inventory is right around just over 3 months of inventory, and that's across the state of Wisconsin. That's favoring a seller's market. We've been talking a lot, when will the bubble burst? When will it shift back to a buyer's market? Well, keep on waiting, because that does not appear to be happening. Total listings essentially flat over the last year, according to this data, up just 0.3%. So that's basically negligible. So if you go into some of the numbers that I was able to comb through earlier today, I want to check on some of the numbers for our region here in southeast Wisconsin, because a lot of people are interested in buying, and we talk about building $1 million in Milwaukee and wanting to be more active in home development. So right now, if you had to guess what the median price of a home in Milwaukee County is, it's a tricky guess because we've got homes on the north side that are well underrun, and then you've got the mansions along Lake Drive. If you had to guess, where do you think roughly, Julia, the median price for a house would be?
The whole state, I think it's $305,000.
Yeah, just north of 300,000.
250.
A little higher than that.
Really?
So we actually were at 250,000 in March of 2025. Fast forward a year, it's now $283,000.
Adam, you better get on it.
Yeah, no joke, because we've been talking about how my wife and I are starting our journey right now. And trust me, we're looking at these numbers and not feeling great, especially when you consider how home inventory has just been so stagnant to grow. And we talk about that all the time. They got to build more housing. You want to put more people in houses. Interestingly enough, if you look at these numbers, the number of inventory homes in Milwaukee County actually across all of southeast Wisconsin was well up, nearly 20% compared to this time last year. So that seems to be pretty good. We see David Crowley and Cavalier Johnson all the time cutting ribbons on new housing developments in the Milwaukee County and Milwaukee area. So
they're
that's
trying
good.
to do an incentive for the city.
So every so often, the city of Milwaukee will offer up homes that have been either foreclosed upon through tax foreclosures or have come back to the city after some sort of repossession. And then they offer them as the City Homes for Sale program. So there's a couple things with this. So these homes are usually priced very, very low. I mean, we're talking you can buy a home for something $50,000, $60,000 sometimes. Of course, the caveat to that is that a lot of these homes are not in the best condition, and so you're not going to get a home for $300,000, but you are going to have to put tens of thousands of dollars into rehabbing these homes, and a lot of the rehabs are required just to get these buildings up to code.
Yeah, because some of them don't even have a kitchen. What do you think about that? Would you do that?
It depends. I did go over some of the properties that. So here's a good example. Perfect example of what we're talking about. So we just mentioned that the median home price is about $283,000. Well, here's a home, South 60th Street, right near just the north of Oklahoma Avenue. Nice area, southwest side of the city. Home's going right now for $200,000. It's not bad at all. But then you have there's a sheet you can click on that says, here is what we recommend you fix up, and here's what, no, you absolutely have to fix. And right there alone, just on this one house on the southwest side, $10,000 in mandatory, like you must do this to bring this up to a livable condition. In particular, the roof on the garage on this one has not been changed in many, many years. There's you having to add water meters, having to change things in the kitchen.
Don't do that. Don't do it, Adam.
Don't do it? Are you telling me not to bring my house up to code if I buy one?
You want to do that?
Well, if I want to not be hit with a fee later, probably.
Well, do you think you're going to go that way, though, and get a foreclosed house like that?
My gut says probably not.
I would definitely get a mold-sniffing dog. If there's roofing issues, I'm really worried. And if it's been abandoned for a while, I'm also worried.
Yeah, and some of
There's
these
not
homes
even
have
a
been on the
meter?
market for a while.
Adam, if there's no meter, it hasn't been heated or anything.
And it was a particularly cold winter for a good stretch there this year. But on the flip side, now playing devil's advocate, you got to commend the city a little bit for at least trying to put these back into first-time home buyers' hands. We hear all the time about properties getting sapped up by big landlords who don't live here, haven't lived here, but they want to build their portfolios here. This is a way to try and circumvent that and at least give people who are trying to get that first home a chance. But it comes with the caveat of a lot of first-time home buyers don't have that saved capital to put into some of the things that they're saying you got to do if you want to live in these homes.
That sounds more like it should be for flippers.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
my first thing I was
That's
saying too.
kind of more of a flipper type of thing because the first-time home buyer doesn't really know what needs to be done. They don't know how to, put the funds to where they need to be and all that stuff. Contractors and all that stuff. Man, that scared the crud out of me.
Adam, would you consider a tiny home?
No.
Really?
No, we want to start a family someday.
Oh, okay. Awesome. 344 on WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and maestro of metaphor. What do you have for us today?
Dad, buying a home is a lot like having a baby. And it turns out that in today's extra competitive market, getting real estate pregnant with your offer accepted is the hardest part. So along with your agent, your Accunet loan consultant will do everything possible to get your real estate bun in the oven.
Yep, we can definitely help buyers make their offers more competitive. Okay, so once you've made the real estate baby, so to speak, what else do buyers and their agents want?
As a son, now this is getting gross and I regret the metaphor. But the next thing everyone wants are regular checkups and an on-time delivery. That's where Accunet really shines, with proactive weekly updates to reassure the sometimes nervous homeowners-to-be that everything's okay and on track.
It all starts with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, and our home buying clinic is always open. Just click on the blue button at Accunet.com to get started. That's ACCUNET.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center, centered in safety, anchored in history, designed for discovery. Just Google Mission 94.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
347 on WTMJ. Let's get a look at the roads. Deb, we got a text a few moments ago about a pretty bad crash on 4194 heading north. I got a view on it right now. We've got some ambulances on scene. What are you seeing?
That's exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah, we got a couple of nasty accidents out on the road. So first of all, 94 northbound, just north of Elm Road, just south of Ryan Road. We have the 3 right lanes blocked right now with this crash. So everybody has to kind of file through in that far left lane, and it is starting to back things up into Racine County. So you do want to be extra careful, give them a wide berth, try and stay away from that area if you can. The other accident that we're dealing with right now is westbound 94, just past Calhoun. We have the left lane blocked right now, and emergency crews, the fire trucks and ambulances have left. Now there are tow trucks on the scene trying to get the vehicles out of there. So delays are stretching all the way back to Highway 100 with this one. The eastbound side, everybody is slowing down to take a look. So we've got backups coming in from Highway F all the way to just before Calhoun. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast just in from Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. You're going to be watching for showers and storms arriving late. There is a very slight potential that some of these storms could be on the stronger side. Breezy with showers possible early Friday, a high of 68. Upper 50s lakeside, 65 inland and sunny on Saturday. Pretty much a carbon copy on Sunday. The next chance for rain comes during the afternoon Monday, high 61 lakeside up to 70 inland. Right now it's 62 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 349.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. Such a good jingle. The NFL draft is finally here. The big question, what are the Packers going to do? We're going to our ESPN Wisconsin insider, Jason Wilde, and he hosts from 9 to noon, Wilde and Tausch. First name on the docket there. It's always Wilde first. Wilde, how are you? You're my number 1 pick.
Well, I got to say, I got to ask Adam a question before we start.
Yes, sir.
Here. What is it like to work with Julia? Because I get a lot of text messages, and she sets a record for most smiley face emojis in a text message I've ever received. I like emojis too, but it was a lot, and I think there are certain people like you can garner the tone of their text.
Sure.
By how they
I like
write
to
it,
make
right?
sure you know I'm friendly.
Yeah. You're so
That's exactly what
bubbly
people who are friendly say. I want to make sure you know I'm friendly.
Yeah.
It was like 6.
I don't know how you can not be in a good mood when you're corresponding or texting with Julia. So I just wanted to get that out there. Now back to the NFL draft.
Your sourced information is very accurate, Jason. It is very hard not to smile when reading text from Julia. But yes, we do shift now. We are in Pittsburgh for the next 3 days, Jason, and it may be one of the more boring day ones if you're a Green Bay Packers fan with those no first-round picks. Just from a pure excitement perspective, is there a twinge of regret for the Micah Parsons deal since we'll have to be watching basically nothing barring an unexpected trade?
Yeah, I don't think so, and I don't expect there to be. Certainly, Brian Gutekunst made it very clear that he doesn't feel any sort of FOMO, fear of missing out this year. And look, it's highly remote, but they could, if they wanted to, try and work their way into the first round, but they'd have to give up some pretty significant capital, and I think they've got too many needs to do that. Look, they got a really special player. Now, he has to stay healthy, and I do think there are cautionary tales about acquiring a player like him who costs you draft capital and then a ton of money. The Chicago Bears in 2018 acquired Khalil Mack, paid essentially the same price, and paid the same dollars in 2018 dollars. Didn't win him a Super Bowl, didn't get him to a Super Bowl, so there's no guarantees, but I don't think anybody is sitting there going, gosh, we'd rather have the first-round pick than have Micah Parsons on our team.
That's fair.
Okay, I completely agree. How is Micah? I know the last time we talked to you, it looks like an October start. Is that still on track, or is it earlier or later?
Yeah, his goal is late September. I don't know if he's managed to figure out a way to move that up. I know he's ahead of schedule. I wish I had more information, but Brian Gutekunst, when we asked him about Parsons and if he was rehabbing in the building, he said he didn't know because he's been in the draft cave, and so he didn't even know if certain players were even there. Which I thought, you're the general manager of the team. I'm not saying you have to go have lunch with them, but shouldn't you have an idea who came to the off-season program and who didn't? So that was a little odd, but bottom line is no one questions his work ethic. I think they feel very confident that he's going to do everything he can to be back as soon as he can. But at the same time, like I was talking about with the investment you made in him, you don't want to push the envelope too much and then end up regretting the fact that he got out there too early and he has a setback, right?
Exactly.
So it's a needle that they have to thread.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. So shifting to tonight then, if there will not be a Packers selection in the first round, there's still some stuff to watch outside of Indiana's Fernando Mendoza expected to go numero uno over to the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know about you, Jason, but I think this could be one of the most wide open, we don't know where teams are going to go first rounds we've had in a while.
You could not be more right, Adam. I would say that there's, and I saw Elliot Wolf, the son of Packers longtime GM and Pro Football Hall of Famer Ron Wolf, said that picks 1 through 20, there's about 20 players that you say you feel really good that they are undeniable first-round picks, which, by the way, ironically enough, the Packers pick would have been number 20, so they would have been at the tail end of that. And then he said from 20 to 50, they're all kind of the same guy, and it's kind of what flavor of ice cream do you like best? So I think it's going to be really interesting to see who goes where and who starts to fall, because just because the Packers are probably not going to pick tonight, that doesn't mean that they can't make a move early tomorrow and try and get up a little higher in the second round to get someone that they saw falling out of the first round.
It's Neapolitan, by the way. That's what it is for me. Neapolitan
That's
ice cream.
cheating. That's 3 flavors in one.
I look at that as a 3-for-1 deal.
That's a savvy play. I don't agree with it, but it's savvy.
All right. Well, then, before we let you go, let's just crystal ball it. If the Packers do try to make that move, what kind of a position do you think it would be for? We talk about positions of need. If they go earlier in the second round, or even if they don't, where ultimately do you think Gutekunst and the staff go in terms of that position of need?
Yeah, good question, because I think they've got a lot of needs. I really do. I think they've got a pretty good starting, say, 22, but then after that, I don't think they're a very deep football team. Goody seems to disagree, and I'm glad that he's optimistic. I'm not as optimistic as him. So I think they got holes to fill. The top 3 positions, and I don't think they can go wrong they can pick the wrong player, don't get me wrong. But I don't think they can pick the wrong position if they pick a cornerback, if they pick a defensive lineman, or they pick an offensive lineman. And they also have some sneaky needs. They could use another running back. Who knows how long Josh Jacobs will hold out in terms of his health. He's getting up there a little bit older. And they've got Tucker Kraft at tight end, but no other proven commodities there, too. So they've got plenty of places they could go. The only position that would surprise me would be if they picked a safety, because that's the one place on the roster where I think they're really deep.
Interesting. At 3:56, he is Jason Wilde on ESPN Wisconsin. Check him out from 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch. Jason, thank you so much.
I am sending you 4 thank you smiley face emojis.
Wow.
And 2 salutes. Thank you for your service.
Wow, thank you. Here's your business headlines.
All right.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Less than a month after being sued for millions of dollars over unpaid work tied to the Edison Tower, developer Neutral has filed a motion seeking to move the dispute to mediation. A Fond du Lac-based construction company said in the suit that it's owed at least $11.3 million for work it completed. Regal Rexnord has filled its CEO position nearly 6 months after announcing CEO Louis Pinkham was leaving the company. It's hired Schneider Electric SE executive Amir Paul to serve as CEO starting July 1st. And the fast-growing 7 Brew coffee chain has opened its first Milwaukee location. The West Layton Avenue spot is one of 2 planned for the city. I'm Addison Lathers from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
If you're going to put some of your hard-earned profits into advertising, you better do it right, because we know you don't want to waste a dime. If you want ad success, it's not just knowing what to say, it's knowing how to say it. Telling isn't selling, and a message that doesn't sell will waste your money. With thousands of ads of experience, we know what to say and how to say it to get you better results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Work page to listen and see why we're the guys smart advertisers call to make their ad dollars work harder. We found that whatever kind of ad you decide to run, if it doesn't sell, it's a bad ad. One thing we're pretty good at is digging deep to find what truly sets our clients apart from their competition. And we're always surprised at what we find and have often asked, well, why haven't you been telling the public that? There are things about your business that you aren't telling enough people, and certainly not often enough. We'll fix that. Go to Anderson-Smith.com and hit the Contact Us button, because we help small business advertisers get better results.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I've been so excited to tell you about this. If you're anything like me, you've always been just a little bit obsessed with the royals, the traditions, the secrets, the history behind those palace walls. Now picture this. You're standing in London, watching the changing of the guard in person. You step inside and come face to face with the crown jewels. Later, you're sitting down for a proper afternoon tea, soaking in it all. That's exactly what we are doing on the British Crown Experience with Fox World Travel and Insight Vacations. I have been talking to Rose Gray. She will be our Fox host. She hosts Fox World Travel on the weekends. She's been planning back and forth for the past 7 months with me meticulous on this trip of what we are going to do. We're going to different cities in England. We're going to experience it all. You'll also get free time as well. I'm taking my husband, Jason. I hope that you come with me. We can walk through Oxford's centuries-old halls, stand in awe at Stonehenge, experience royal history as it actually happened. And here's the thing. Trips like these don't come around often. Spots are going quickly. So if it's ever been on your bucket list to go to England and take a look at history, don't wait. Visit foxworldtravel.com, foxworldtravel.com, or call 866-GO-FOX-GO right now to reserve your spot. 866-GO-FOX-GO. Because this isn't just a vacation. It is your chance to live the royal experience, and I would love for you to be a part of it. Go to foxworldtravel.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy. This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story this hour, peace talks slow in the Middle East.
I'm Adam Roberts. A teen accused of murdering his mother enters a plea.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, still dealing with very difficult accidents northbound on 94, just north of Elm Road. The 3 right lanes are closed right now because of this crash. Looks like there were some injuries involved with this. Delays stretching all the way back into Racine County. The other accident is on westbound 94 just past Calhoun. Looks like that one is just about ready to be cleared out of the way. Just, I think, a vehicle left over on the left shoulder being hooked up to a tow truck. Still, though, delays stretching all the way back to Highway 100. And the eastbound side, we've got delays basically from Highway F, or 164 actually, all the way to Calhoun, back on the brakes from about 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Chances of storms late tonight, a low of 58 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy and slight chance of showers, a high of 68. Right now in Milwaukee, it is currently 62 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, there is little progress on peace talks with Iran today. President Donald Trump has ordered the U.S. military to shoot and kill small Iranian boats that deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz. News Nation's Robert Sherman.
This is the statement that President Trump put out a short while ago here today, saying, I have ordered the United States Navy to shoot and kill any boat, small boats though they may be, that is putting mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz. There is to be no hesitation. Additionally, our minesweepers are clearing the strait right now and hereby ordering that activity continue, but at a tripled up level.
The president posted that they will shoot and kill small Iranian boats on social media shortly after the U.S. military seized another tanker associated with smuggling of Iranian oil.
The latest tech company to announce major layoffs is the parent of Facebook and Instagram.
Meta will lay off about 10% of its workforce next month, about 8,000 employees. It's also not going to fill 6,000 open positions. The cuts are designed to help offset other investments the company is making, according to an internal memo. Meta has been spending billions developing artificial intelligence technology, though, like much of the AI industry, it's struggled to turn a profit on those efforts. Meta reports first quarter earnings next week. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A 14-year-old is now in custody in connection with a deadly shooting in Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood. Police say the teen boy was arrested earlier this week is tied to a murder that happened April 14th near First and Greenfield. The medical examiner identified the victim as 35-year-old David Krause. Police say they are searching for other suspects as well.
A teenager inspired by a documentary to kill his mother, allegedly pleading not guilty by reason of insanity.
Reed Galinsky was 15 years old when police found his mother, Suzanne, dead from multiple stab wounds at their home in Franksville. He told police that he had been taking his brother's anxiety pills and came home from school one day with an urge to kill his parents. Galinsky said he then made a plan after watching the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix. Galinsky is supposed to stand trial in June, but a judge has also scheduled a competency hearing for the end of May. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
New storm data shedding light on the severe weather that rolled through our state last week.
The National Weather Service has now confirmed 25 tornadoes across the state. 17 of those were in southeast Wisconsin. According to the State Climatology Office, Wisconsin experiences around 23 tornadoes in a typical year. The combination of tornadoes, heavy rainfall, and flooding causing damage across the area last week. As cleanup and recovery efforts continue, Governor Tony Evers is seeking help from the state's congressional delegation to obtain federal aid from the Trump administration. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, Washington Elementary School in Janesville is now closed for the foreseeable future due to flood damage from last week's storms.
The school district of Janesville says the water damage is extensive, affecting multiple levels of the building, including the kitchen, lunchroom, art room, classrooms, and mechanical systems. The school's near 400 students will be moved to alternative spaces that have not yet been announced. All classes have been canceled for the rest of the week. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Up next, a new head coach for the Bucks.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 406.
What if your giving could go farther and be smarter? Join Annex Wealth Management for The Art of Giving. Tax-savvy strategies for greater impact. Thursday, April 30th at Aspen Sky Winery in Slinger. Learn how thoughtful tax planning can help you support the causes you care about while maximizing your impact. Enjoy dinner, refreshments, and valuable insights and potential strategies. Space is limited. Click events at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management.
Hey, everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer and allows my dogs, husband, and me to enjoy our patio every season. Comfort Awnings is now offering their biggest promo ever. Get up to $1,000 off any awning or screen. That's right, start spring off right and get 10% off up to $1,000 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Picture this: a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
MW Marine.
Ready for the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out their showroom featuring the 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Lock in a great deal early so when summer hits, you're already launching, not waiting. Plus, full boat service and storage. They'll take top-notch care of your rig and get you on the water. MW Marine, your summer starts here.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It was gut-wrenching, to say the least, for the crew this afternoon in Detroit.
Uribe brings home the pitch, and this is a fly ball to left, hit deep. Back goes Lockridge at the track, wall gone. Torkelson walks off the Brewers with a solo home run off Uribe, and they'll win this series 2-1.
That's how it sounded on WTMJ. The crew returning home for a 3-game series with the Pirates beginning Friday night. You can hear it here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. ESPN Shams Charania reporting the Milwaukee Bucks are finalizing a deal to make Taylor Jenkins the next head coach of the franchise after 6 seasons as head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies and 1 year as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer right here in Milwaukee. Round 1 of the NFL draft taking place in Pittsburgh beginning tonight. As of right now, the Packers' first selection will be the 52nd overall pick in the second round. And after a fight broke out at last night's Milwaukee Wave soccer match against San Diego, Major Arena Soccer League is now reviewing incidents that occurred and says it's working to identify fans that threw objects at players. There were scuffles near the pitch after the match. Milwaukee and San Diego playing Game 2 of their championship series Friday night in California.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:09.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Adam Roberts.
John Mercure is off today, and he'll be back next week. At 4:11, it is draft week in the NFL, and Packers currently own 8 selections. In the history of this iconic franchise, who are the greatest picks of all time? WTMJ's Greg Matzik charts his top 5.
The Green Bay Packers have drafted over 1,000 players since the draft became a thing in 1936. In the 1940s, the draft had as many as 32 rounds. Today, the draft is a 7-round event in which 257 players will be selected. While general managers aim to bat 1,000, not all Packers picks have worked out.
79, Tony Mandarich. He's the finest offensive lineman I have ever seen. He's a monster.
But many have. 89 drafts, over 1,000 players, 13 Hall of Famers. These are the best of the best.
5.
Leroy Butler.
It's picked off by Butler. Butler a big play. To a 10, to a 5. He's in for the touchdown.
A second-round draft pick in 1990, Butler played all 12 seasons of his NFL career in Green Bay. A four-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl champion, a member of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team, recording 20 and a half sacks in his career and 38 interceptions, a game-changer, All-League performer, Hall of Famer, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap.
4. Jim Taylor.
Taylor was unbelievable. He was a fierce competitor.
A second-round pick, Taylor was a three-time first-team All-Pro and NFL MVP in 1962. Jim Taylor became the first player in NFL history to record 5 straight 1,000-plus yard rushing seasons.
I just tried to play at a very high level of intensity and play to my potential.
He liked to hit people.
Usually a running back breaks the line of scrimmage and looks for the end zone. Jimmy looked for the first safety he could run over.
A Super Bowl champion and member of the NFL's All-Decade team in the 1960s. Taylor's 81 rushing touchdowns remain a Packers franchise record. Taylor currently ranks second on the Packers franchise rushing yardage list with 8,207, plus another 1,500 receiving yards.
3.
Boys, Greg.
Vince Lombardi famously called Greg, quote, the finest player I ever coached. Greg played 15 of his 16 seasons in Green Bay, was a 7-time first-team All-Pro. Greg was also incredibly durable, missing just one start over an 11-year span from 1959 to 1969.
On this play against Chicago, Forrest executes the difficult seal-off block perfectly.
A member of the 1960s All-Decade team, Greg in 2019 was named to the NFL's 100th anniversary team. The only player ever drafted by the Packers to make that team.
The guy was just fantastic.
A second-round pick in 1956.
2.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh my, that may be one of the great throws ever made.
A first-round pick in 2005, Rodgers spent 18 seasons with the Packers, winning 4 MVPs.
Very few people in the history of this game could make this throw that Aaron Rodgers just made.
A Super Bowl champion, an MVP of the Super Bowl, and a 4-time first-team All-Pro. Rodgers' 59,005 passing yards is an all-time mark for the Packers. His 475 touchdowns, the most in franchise history.
Look at this throw.
Unbelievable.
4 times during his tenure with the Packers, Rodgers led the NFL in quarterback rating and is among the most historically accurate quarterbacks to ever live.
1.
Bart Starr.
The measure of the player is how well he plays under pressure when you have to win.
Starr played 16 seasons of professional football, all with the Packers. He was a 3-time All-Pro and the MVP of the league in 1966. 4 times, Starr led the league in quarterback rating and completion percentage. His 5 championships, more than any quarterback over the league's first 96 seasons. 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Starr lost his first playoff game in 1960 and never lost in the postseason again, posting a career 9-1 mark.
I think the quality of a great leader, of a great quarterback, is being able to deliver when you have to.
Bart Starr was the 200th overall selection in 1956, falling to the Packers in the 17th round. So much history, so many great players. Who's on your list? Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
And round 1 of that draft be kicking off later this evening in Pittsburgh. Thanks to Greg Matzik for that. It's 4:15 on WTMJ. Hey, coming up next, what would you do if a minute into your commute home from work, you turned around and found yourself face-to-face with an active police situation? I'll explain what I did after Debbie helps get you home up next.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can easily find the products you need and trust at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Save 15% on select legacy brand air hoses, 10% off assorted JMF plumbing supplies. Rewards members save 20%. And thoroughbred welding cylinders and welding gas, also 10% off. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Redo Cabinets. This is the way everyone should remodel their kitchen. The kitchen of your dreams. Redo Cabinets can do that at a fraction of the cost. How? By just refacing your cabinets. You can learn all about their cabinet refacing with their free, no-obligation consultation. So basically, they come to your house for about 90 minutes. You get to choose the colors, the hardware, the style, accessories that you might want. Even if you want a kitchen island, a backsplash maybe, crown molding, they can do it all. anything that you want. And it's all made right here in the USA, a family-owned business for more than 70 years. And right now, for their spring sale, you can get free premium countertops with every refacing project, or monthly payments starting as low as $195. That's right, $195 a month. What are you waiting for? Call today, book your free no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417, or head to redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Comfort Awnings and Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we've got some delays still with these accidents. Now, most of them have been cleared out of the way. Northbound 94, just south of Ryan Road, they still have the 3 lanes closed. At least that's what they're saying, but I'm not seeing them actually closed. We do have delays stretching all the way back to 5 Mile Road in Racine County, so that's something to keep in mind. The other accident, westbound 94, just past Calhoun, has been cleared. Delays are still pretty hefty coming out of the zoo interchange all the way past the scene. On the eastbound side, slowing down from 164 to Calhoun, and then back on the brakes from 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, it'll be partly cloudy, a low of 46. Tomorrow, rain chances, a high of 66. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 58. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 61. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 62 degrees.
So, Julia, you and I have been in this game for a fair deal of time. We've had to cover police situations at various points in our careers. I'd say 99% of the time, a reporter is at the scene of where an alleged crime has happened well after the actual incident in question has occurred, and then you hear just hours ago, blah, 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 something was happening at this intersection. It's very rare that you find yourself in a situation that is actively unfolding right in front of your face. But that is exactly what happened to me yesterday evening after I left our station here in downtown Milwaukee. So many people know by now I'm a bike commuter every single day, pretty much ride my bike to and from my house and work. And so I had just literally a minute ago from what I'm about to share left where we keep our bike locker here at the Avenue, and had rounded to the left, and I'm heading north on Plankinton. This is right over towards the Riverside Theater. There's Moe's Irish Pub. Moe's, a place for steaks, is just up the street. And as I get to the intersection, I find myself, as I'm looking through, there's a four-way stoplight right there, and I look forward, and all of a sudden I see a man, hands in the air, and multiple squad cars with cops behind the doors in an active stance. If you text WATCH right now to 855-616-1620. I don't use the word exclusive video very lightly, but this was my video of the scene as this individual, a 22-year-old man, is being arrested via a slow walk back. So if you're watching along on YouTube, you can see the cops are behind their doors, and this man in a blue hoodie is walking back. And Julia, I'm not making this up, not once, but twice during this encounter, the man hits a dance move.
No.
As he's backing up towards the cops. Not once, but twice, which, without making too many speculative generalizations, it would seem as though this may not be his first instance, this individual dealing with law enforcement, and that he felt so emboldened to hit a couple of dance moves while he's being told to back up, hands up where we can see them.
Okay, text WATCH to 855-616-1620. That's our Siding Unlimited Talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Yeah, he has his hands up. Did he have a weapon? What was going on?
So I did a little bit of digging with the Milwaukee Police Department. We did try to get some information, and we did learn more about what led up to this particular incident, because at the moment when I was speaking with the cops right after they had arrested him, no one wanted to talk. It's ongoing. We're trying to get more information. Well, later on, we would find out the suspect is being investigated right now for an alleged shooting that happened just minutes before this in a very busy part of downtown Milwaukee. Police indicating that the individual is alleged to have fired a single shot, just one shot, from a fully automatic gun on the 1000 block of MLK Drive, or Old World 3rd Street, if you're more familiar with that. And this is where, think the Brat House, Usingers, Mater's is just up the street. This is all on that block just north of Pere Marquette Park, right in downtown Milwaukee. Was alleged to have fired a single shot and then immediately fled from the scene. And then just 3 minutes later, I found myself face to face with this active situation.
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a standoff because they were giving commands through a loudspeaker.
And if you watch the video, I don't want to speculate as to whether or not the police had their guns drawn or if it was non-lethal ammunition, maybe a taser, etc. Because it was hard to see. I'm about a half block away from where this is happening. And there's also, I think there was about 24 people at this very busy intersection downtown also watching all of this unfold. And I also want to say, like, arrests in Milwaukee and even downtown, nothing new. Like, you see it happen. People will be put into the back of a cop car. As I mentioned, I've been covering many of these before.
I thought you were going to say I've been in the back of a cop car.
No, I have not been in the back of a cop car.
I have, but for reporting.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. So we do not yet know the identity of this individual. I do know he's a 22-year-old man. I am working behind the scenes to get more information into what led up to the alleged shooting that precipitated this situation. But we do know charges are being referred to the district attorney's office and that the man is 22 years old and was arrested right after this incident happened.
So we'll keep this up. You text WATCH to 855-616-1620. WATCH to our Setting Limit Talk and text line whenever or wherever you're listening. Know we're live on YouTube. You can watch the show, see what's happening in the studio, comment along with us, and you can see this exclusive video that Adam has of this man who is walking with his hands up towards police, and now we know he is accused of firing a shot in a very, very busy area of downtown Milwaukee. I mean, busting moves, dancing in the middle of, that is nuts. So you can see that if you text WATCH 855-616-1620.
424 on WTMJ. Let's check the markets here. Your Annex Wealth Management market update. Had a great day on Wall Street. All three of the major indices finishing in the red. The NASDAQ, the biggest loser today, off about 0.9%, down 219 points at 24,439. The Dow finishing at 49,310. That's off about 180 points on the day. And the S&P 500 is down 30 points to 7,108. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Market swings can feel very different when you're close to retirement. Hi, I'm Tony Drake, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. When you're younger, volatility is often something you ride out over time. But as retirement approaches, big market drops can have a much bigger impact on your long-term plan. That's why many retirees need a different investment approach, one that balances growth with protection and provides income even when markets are unpredictable. At Drake & Associates, we help families design diversified strategies intended to help manage risk while still giving your money the opportunity to grow. My complimentary retirement toolkit walks through how thoughtful investment planning can help you stay confident during uncertain markets. You'll receive a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, along with 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and smart investing. Call 414-897-9522 or text RISK to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word RISK to 414-897-9522. Because the goal isn't just growing your money, it's protecting the retirement you've worked for.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
It's time. It's time your ad dollar reached far more than you thought possible. And it's time your ad message made a dramatic impact on your bottom line. The results we brought our small business clients are significant, and there's no reason we can't bring you the same success, no matter what your ad budget is. So go to anderson-smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, email me, and I will call you in short order, because it is time. Anderson-smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. If you're buying and creating advertising for your small business, but you're not sure how to make it work, then I want you to know we can make radio or TV advertising work for you. Both are very powerful media, and both can be affordable. And we have a laundry list of notable long-term clients who will vouch for us. So if you have an interest in increasing the chances of your small business's advertising success, go to anderson-smith.com, hit the Contact Us button, send me a quick email, and I'll call you in short order. That's anderson-smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
The Milwaukee Auto Show is back. Bolder and better. At its new location, you'll see the newest everyday favorites, sleek luxury cars, rugged trucks, and fuel-efficient hybrids for more than 25 brands. Plus, test drive several new models right at the show. Bring the family, invite your friends. There's fun for all ages. Kids 12 and under are free. The Milwaukee Auto Show, the 14th through the 17th at Wisconsin State Fair Park Expo Center with discounted parking. Tickets at autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyoulivematters.org today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour: multiple people arrested after a mass shooting.
I'm Adam Roberts. A deadly hit and run in Milwaukee leads to an arrest.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, still dealing with a crash on the ramp from 175 southbound to 94 eastbound off on the right shoulder. So watch out for that. Westbound 94 itself is backing up from 35th Street to Hawley Road and then from the zoo all the way past Calhoun. Eastbound backing up from just before 164 to about Brookfield Road, back on the brakes from 76th Street through to 35th. We've also got on southbound 41 backing up from about Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. And then on Highway 100 northbound right at York Place. This is right near Capitol Drive. The 3 left lanes of northbound Highway 100 are closed because of a crash. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Thunderstorms starting to fire up in Iowa and Minnesota. They could lose some steam by the time they get to southeast Wisconsin, but we'll watch closely tonight. A low down to 57. Early rain and storms possible then Friday with a high of 67. Right now 62 in Milwaukee at 4:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 5 people have been arrested after a mass shooting in a Louisiana mall.
We have 5 victims at one area local hospital, one of which right now we can confirm is deceased, 1 is in surgery, and 3 have minor injuries. We have another victim at a different area hospital with very minor injuries. So 6 total victims related to this incident.
That was the police chief, Thomas Morse of Baton Rouge.
Over a month removed from a shocking crash at LaGuardia Airport in New York between an Air Canada jet and a fire truck, the NTSB now releasing their preliminary report. CBS's Kemi McCormick.
Federal investigators say the firefighter whose truck collided with the jet heard an air traffic controller warn stop, but didn't know who it was for. After that initial warning, the truck's turret operator heard the controller say truck 1, stop. But by that time, the truck was already on the runway as the Air Canada flight was landing and speeding toward it. Investigators say an air traffic controller had cleared the truck to cross the runway just 12 seconds before the plane touched down. Both pilots on the jet were killed.
Roughly 40 passengers and crew members on that plane were also injured.
A teen was arrested today after a deadly hit and run on Milwaukee's near west side. Happened at 9 o'clock this morning on North 13th Street near King Park. A car struck a pedestrian and the vehicle took off. A 35-year-old was killed on scene. Officers later found the car driving recklessly near 15th and Cherry. People inside ran off when police tried to stop it. A 17-year-old later returned to the scene, and he was arrested. Police say they're searching for more suspects.
A man from Kenosha now facing charges after a fire that led to the deaths of his 3 children last Thanksgiving. 39-year-old Joshua Kanan charged with 3 felony counts of child neglect resulting in death. Court records say the fire in the apartment near 43rd Avenue and 52nd Street led to the deaths of 10-year-old Riley, 9-year-old Connor, and 7-year-old Alina Kanan on Thanksgiving night. Police did not find smoke detectors inside the home. Kanan is scheduled to appear in court next month.
Washington Elementary School in Janesville has been closed for the foreseeable future because of flood damage.
The school district of Janesville says the water damage is extensive, affecting multiple levels of the building, including the kitchen, lunchroom, art room, classrooms, and mechanical systems. The school's near 400 students will be moved to alternative spaces that have not yet been announced. All classes have been canceled for the rest of the week. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Department of Justice suing multiple companies for allegedly facilitating illegal sports betting within the state. The suit filed today says companies including Kalshi, Robinhood, and Crypto.com used event contracts on their platforms that pay out like traditional bets. Companies then collect a fee on each wager. Attorney General Josh Kaul says lawsuits filed today are not related to Governor Tony Evers' recent legislation allowing tribal sports betting apps.
The new law specifically relates to gaming that is conducted through facilities that are on tribal lands in Wisconsin. That's not the case in these cases, and so the allegations here are unimpacted by that new legislation.
The Wisconsin DOJ wants the courts to shut down the operations of Kalshi and others in the state.
A U.S. Supreme Court ruling on a major Great Lakes pipeline dispute is drawing attention to Wisconsin.
The court sided with Michigan, allowing its lawsuit that would shut down part of Enbridge's Line 5 pipeline to stay in state court. Line 5 is a key energy pipeline that carries crude oil and natural gas liquids from Superior, Wisconsin to Canada. It's also at the center of a separate legal battle in northern Wisconsin. A federal judge has ordered part of the pipeline crossing tribal land to be shut down and rerouted, though that case is still being appealed. Experts say the latest ruling brings potential implications for energy and environmental policy across the region. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A settlement has been reached in a tragic school bus accident in Sussex. 5-year-old Finn Katana was killed last year when he was struck by a school bus. Attorney Timothy Trachek says the family's focus is now on safety improvements, including a new initiative called Finn's Rule, which aims to prevent similar tragedies.
Importantly, Finn's Rule will also be introduced and shared with a number of other national school bus companies, which will increase the potential reach and scope of Finn's Rule to more than 130,000 school bus drivers nationally.
Along with the new safety training, bus drivers will also receive a laminated card with reminders to be aware of danger zones and blind spots. Let's take a WTMJ Sports update look now from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Big news for the Milwaukee Bucks. According to ESPN Shams Charania, the team is finalizing a deal to make Taylor Jenkins their new head coach.
I'm not aware of any involvement from Giannis in this search process, but this day and moving forward is really a dawn of a new era in Milwaukee as far as culture.
Jenkins was an assistant with the Bucks during the 2018-19 season, then would go on to serve as the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies for 6 years. The Brewers fall on a walk-off home run from Detroit's Spencer Torkelson, 5-4 the final in Detroit. Milwaukee returning home to face the Pirates in Game 1 of a 3-game series Friday night, which you can hear right here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And speaking of Pittsburgh, it's night 1 of the NFL Draft tonight from the Steel City. The Packers currently own 8 selections over 3 days, though none of those picks currently planned for the first round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:37.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, he is hosting ESPN Milwaukee's draft coverage all weekend. He's a friend of the show, Wisconsin's afternoon news. He's taken, okay, ladies? All right. How did you get engaged to Allie?
How did I get engaged?
Yeah, what did you do?
Do you want my engagement story?
What did you do?
We were by the lake and by the skyline in downtown Milwaukee, and she thought she was going on a girls' dinner, and I was
there.
I was there outside of the
I
restaurant,
hope
and we took a little walk down a path by Lake Michigan, and I hit a knee.
Wow.
Boom. Yeah, and then we went to dinner, and then I surprised her with like 40 of her favorite people at a bar for an after party. So pretty good engagement a couple months ago.
That's Alex Stroh.
Good to be here.
Not.
And you did great with the ring.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to my friends at Robert Hack.
Okay, so we're talking about the NFL draft. This is bigger than a wedding day for many people, okay? This is bigger than the Super Bowl for some people. And
Especially
Green
if
Bay
you're getting
had it.
called up.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Okay, so the Packers have 8 picks, but no first round tonight.
Correct. So, I mean, tonight might be boring if you're a Packers fan. It's still fun to watch the action. It's still fun to watch a new city on display in Pittsburgh. Yeah. A lot of pierogies will be consumed, I imagine. I've never had a pierogi, Adam. Have you?
No, I have not
so
either.
Good.
They are good? You've had one? I've never been to Pittsburgh. I've never had a pierogi. But it's going to be cool to watch, I mean, the spectacle that is the NFL draft. It's crazy how it's evolved and become such a big show. But I don't expect the Packers to trade into the round. I don't expect to see the Packers make a selection tonight. But as the general manager, Brian Gutekunst, said earlier in the week, round 1 affects rounds 2 and 3, and they have 2 picks tomorrow. So we'll see if there's a run on a position of need like cornerback, or we'll see if all the top cornerbacks are available entering tomorrow, which will ultimately dictate what they do.
I'm so glad you brought up the whole spectacle of the draft. I was just saying in the newsroom earlier how crazy it is given how chaotic and how insane it was, because we had the draft last year. Fast forward a year, and it's like, wow, we're catching up, and wow, it's happening tonight.
Yeah.
Do you think, Alex, that there is a ceiling on how big of a spectacle the draft can be, and are we approaching that potentially? Because it seems every year it's just bigger, bigger, bigger.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point by you, Adam. I guess locally, no, because if you brought the draft back to Green Bay and like Pittsburgh's experience this week, I imagine it is going to be the absolute place to be for the state of Pennsylvania, like it was last year for the state of Wisconsin. In terms of watching from Wisconsin when it's happening in Pittsburgh, yeah, probably to a point, but the NFL is self-aware. They did make a rule change this year because it tends to drag. So teams will only have 8 minutes rather than their typical 10 to make selections tonight. Okay. So that's going to speed up two minutes at minimum per selection. So it should go a little bit faster than it has in past years. because they really dragged it out. I don't think the Packers made their pick until past 10 o'clock last year, and hopefully we should be wrapped between 10 and 11 tonight.
So funny story. I'm glad you bring that up. So back when I was working out in La Crosse, we did our draft show from the studio, and I don't remember what year it was, but the Packers were picking like 24th, 25th.
As they often do,
late
right.
in the first round. And so we were only allotted to go until exactly 10 p.m.
no.
And we had to finish the show right as they were walking up to
Oh,
make the
no.
pick. But we were only contractually supposed to be until 10, and the program director said 10 o'clock, we're done. So, woof.
Do you
that was
remember,
tough to
do you
explain
remember
later.
who they picked?
I do not.
Because I'd be curious if it was worth staying on and breaking your
The
contract.
fact
if
that
it
I
was not.
can't remember
I imagine it
probably
wasn't.
was
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, probably wasn't.
Okay, so who would be pick number one?
It's gonna be Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana, who just won a national championship in the Heisman. It seems like it's the most foregone conclusion a number one pick has been in a few years. You know, every year you on draft day it kind of gets down to, okay, this is who it's going to be. But Fernando Mendoza, I think since January when we found out the Raiders would have pick one, we knew it was going to be him. They moved on from their quarterback this offseason. Geno Smith goes to the Jets. They have a new head coach who was the offensive coordinator in Seattle last year. Clint Kubiak won the Super Bowl with them. So they're trying to build that offense. It'll be Mendoza, who's a really good quarterback, seems like a really good dude, and interested to see if he will succeed in Vegas. But that one's kind of a foregone conclusion. Now, after that, it could fall anyway. It's going to be kind of a dramatic, mysterious draft like we haven't seen in past years. Typically, okay, it makes sense for this guy to go here. It makes sense, you can kind of figure out the top 4 or 5 picks. This year, I feel like after pick one, it's a crapshoot, which is exciting. That's goes back to the word spectacle. I think that's something we'll have this year that we haven't had as much in past years.
We're running out of time. The last thing is, are there 3 players maybe that the Packers are keeping a close eye on once they get to pick 52?
Yeah, 52 is so far away. I'm not going to bore you with names, but I will bore you with positions. I think you have to look at what the Packers' philosophy has been, which is best available player. That's always what they've said the philosophy is. That's always the approach they've taken. So I would say there's 3 positions to keep an eye on. It's cornerback, it's defensive line, it's offensive line. I think if it's outside of those 3 position groups, I would be surprised with pick 52, assuming they stay put tomorrow night.
And real quick, for those who will be watching night 2 and potentially 3 of the draft, if you're looking for a Wisconsin guy to get excited about, I'll throw this name out there. Cole Wisniewski. He's a safety at Texas Tech, started out at North Dakota State, but I remember him as a 3-year starter at Sparta High School out in West Central Wisconsin.
Fun.
He was very evident even at that point, this guy's going to potentially be an NFL quality player, and he put his time in with the Red Raiders, and so probably not going to be tonight, but I could see maybe later in the day tomorrow, guy from Sparta, Wisconsin will be going to the league.
I love that. Riley Nowakowski, another name to bring up. He actually was a tight end at Indiana, but played 3 years at Wisconsin prior. Transferred to Indiana, won a national championship, skyrocketed. He used to be a day 3 pick, but another Wisconsin tie to bring up. Those are probably the main 2. There might be a couple others late day 3, especially former Badgers, but given how bad that program's been the last few years, not as many draft picks as maybe we've seen in the past.
He is hosting ESPN Milwaukee's draft coverage all weekend. Alex Strofe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Who's hungry? Lake Geneva Restaurant Week is back April 18th through the 26th, and you're invited. For 9 delicious days, dozens of the area's top spots roll out special breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus packed with flavor and price to impress. Whether you're craving a cozy cafe vibe or a night of upscale dining, this is your chance to explore it all. Dig into participating restaurants, menus, and all the mouthwatering details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. I was just there earlier this month. I met with the owner, Katie Sweetman. She is amazing. She's a nurse practitioner. She knows her stuff, along with Angie, who's also a nurse practitioner there. They are the best of the best. I got my Botox done. It's kicked in. I can't move my eyebrows. It's exactly the way I want it. You can still move your face. It's fine. And it's getting rid of all the wrinkles around my eyebrows, the creasing, and the widow's peak that I have. It's all gone. Everything is fantastic. You can also get the BBL Heroic laser treatment. That's what I call the next level facial. It is absolutely incredible. Nikki took care of me. They are incredible. When you go in there, I was there when there was those really bad storms earlier this month. When you go inside, it's all pink. So the ambiance just immediately makes you feel better, refreshed. Everybody's so nice, so professional. They do injectables, advanced skin treatments, and wellness services. Book your appointment now at sweettalks.com. sweettalks.com.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Is retirement getting closer? If you don't feel prepared and have questions about how your financial life might look after 65, Annex can help. Maybe you manage things on your own, or maybe you wonder if your current advisor and plan aligns with your expectations. It might be a good time to see what Annex Wealth Management can do for you. Annex is also very visible with financial education. Webinars every week with topics ranging from inflation, jobs and the economy, tax strategies, and helping keep you informed and stay prepared when the market fluctuates. Join Annex Wealth Management on April 30th at Aspen Sky Winery and Distillery in Slinger for The Art of Giving, Tax-Savvy Strategies for Greater Impact. Discover how to maximize both your charitable impact and tax efficiency. Join them by clicking events at annexwealth.com. That's annexwealth.com. Fee-only fiduciary all the time. I've trusted them for many, many years. Know the difference like I do with Annex Wealth Management.
This is WTMJ's Steve Scavini from Point Taken. It's that time of year to recognize the people who go above and beyond for our communities. If you know a first responder, dispatcher, or a healthcare provider who deserves recognition, text SALUTES to 855-616-1620. That's SALUTES, 855-616-1620. Or visit WTMJ.com, submit your nomination. But don't wait, submissions close May 8th.
It's Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Mission 94.
Traffic is sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center. Burghardt Sporting Goods. Visit them today in New Berlin.
449 on WTMJ. Let's get a look at the roads. Debbie Lazaga, what are we seeing?
We've got a couple of issues out there. First of all, Highway 100 southbound at Capitol Drive. The left lane is blocked with a crash. On the northbound side, the 3 left lanes are blocked because of this crash. So watch out for that area around Capitol Drive and Highway 100. Onto the freeway. Southbound on 41, backing up before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to about Hampton. We've also got delays southbound on the bypass, technically starting before Blue Mound Road all the way down past Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue around the Hale to Forest Home. We've also got delays on northbound 94 right at the collector ramp at Layton. This is a crash here off on the right shoulder. Now, this is like the third one in a week here that we've had in that same spot. The collector ramp at Layton Avenue is just heading into the Mitchell interchange, so just be extra careful heading through there. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast right now on the very western part of our state. We've got some showers and thunderstorms starting to fire up. Stronger ones back in Iowa right now. They're going to lose some steam by the time they get to our area. A low of 58, but it will storm and rain overnight tonight. Some rain early then for your Friday, a high of 68. A very nice weekend in store. Upper 50s lakeside, mid 60s inland and sun both Saturday and Sunday. Next chance for rain then late Monday with highs in the mid 60s. Right now 61 in Milwaukee at 450.
The War Memorial Center. They are launching a huge event during the 250th commemoration of the U.S. They're doing a dialogue series featuring Major General Brian Winsky. He is the president and CEO of the War Memorial Center, bringing together voices of leadership, and he's previewing one that's actually happening tomorrow, Friday, starting at 2:30. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We never take that for granted. Thanks. So this is really cool. This is with Dana Perino. She's with Fox News, and she used to be part of the Bush administration.
That's right. Yeah, she was the White House press secretary for a couple of years, the deputy before that, and those were the tough years of Iraq and Afghanistan. So she was kind of a direct report to the president and a really trusted member of his staff. And looking forward to hearing about her experiences there and some other things as well.
This is a blast from the past with her.
Yeah.
If you remember when President Bush was doing a news conference and there was a foreign journalist in the Middle East that was throwing a shoe at him and he was able to neo-matrix, not get hit by it. They were trying to take him down after the second shoe was thrown, the Secret Service. Dana Perino was there and a light hit her in the head. Do you remember that?
Yeah, one of these swing arm things. It was pretty bad. She had a bad black eye, and that's actually the first time I met her. It was a crowd of about 10,000 soldiers. But after the Iraq trip, they came to Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan at the time and saw her there. But yeah, that was not insignificant, that injury she sustained in Baghdad there.
Wow.
So this conversation is centering around not just what we mentioned before, but also this idea of, as we look at the world we're in right now, we have a war going on overseas in the Middle East. There's been a war in the Middle East seemingly for decades now in varying capacities. And the conversation's focusing on the impact on Blue Star families. For those who aren't familiar, just quickly explain what that is.
Yeah, so Blue Star families are families that have a loved one serving in the military. It goes back to World War II. There was a banner in a window for a family that lost a soldier. That was a blue outline rectangular banner, and it would have a gold star representing the lost service member, soldier killed in action. Blue Star families are those just serving, not killed in action. And we have a number of those Blue Star families that are joining us tomorrow. And what I really hope to talk with Dana about is, some of the things you just mentioned, the national security environment and all things Iran, the broader Middle East, and also the rest of the world, Korea, China, and of course Ukraine and Russia, and what her take is on all of that and where she sees it going.
You're invited to come out. So if you go to warmemorialcenter.org and click on events, you can go. She also wrote a really interesting book called Purple State, which is set in Wisconsin. So will you be asking her about that?
Yeah, we're going to give her a chance to pitch it. It isn't released yet, but yeah, we're going to give her a chance. This is her first novel. It's a story about a young lady from New York that gets linked up with a young man from Wisconsin in a purple state here, and there's political backgrounds and perspective from both of them. But I think her main theme is how you can put that stuff aside and find friendship and eventually romance and all that sort of thing. So love prevails, I guess, and look forward to reading the book. She's a pretty prolific author. She has a number of other books as well. What I like about all of them is just a really positive theme, how people from different perspectives can still, again, meet in the middle and get things done and come to common understanding.
Major General Brian Winsky with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. I wanted to ask you, sir, about just this idea with your lived experience at some of the highest levels of military command. Given what you're going to be speaking about tomorrow, what are some of the less obvious impacts of a conflict like what we're seeing in Iran on military families, on these Blue Star families? Things that maybe, especially if you have a son or a daughter who is a first-generation military service member, that maybe you don't think about when something like this unfolds.
Yeah. She's obviously a media personality and leader in the industry. And, what I hope we talk about a little bit is, there's no demographic or group of people that cling on the news more than Blue Star families, because as things happen across the globe, military forces are committed. It may be your son, daughter, your mother, father, close relative, close friend, etc. So, I really want to talk to her about how she kind of specifically addresses that particular audience and, provides a little rest assurance kind of thing.
Well, I appreciate all that you have done. Can you talk about your children, what they're doing in the military?
Yeah, super proud of them. They both picked the path of service. They serve in the Army. My son's a company commander. He commands about 120 infantry soldiers, paratroopers in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. My daughter flies Black Hawk helicopters down at Fort Campbell, and her husband flies Chinook helicopters, and they're both pilots and thriving down there.
Does that give you some angst? Is it a different perspective as a father now that we're dealing with the Iran war?
Yeah, it certainly does. But I do know and have some insights that, again, I hope to address a little bit tomorrow. I do know for a fact they are absolutely trained, prepared, and ready for whatever may be asked of them. They've got great leaders, great soldiers, great equipment, all the resources they need. No matter what the mission set is or what they might get committed to, they'll be absolutely ready for it.
He is Major General Brian Winsky. He is the War Memorial Center president and CEO, bringing together voices of leadership, including Dana Perino, tomorrow starting at 2:30. You can still get tickets. You can get them at warmemorialcenter.org and then click on events, warmemorialcenter.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate
it's
it. Thanks for having me.
4:56 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home. I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Right now, during our spring footwear event, Skechers are buy one, get one half price. Special buy men's Merrell hiking shoes are also half price. Plus, stock up on spring fishing with lures, jigs, and plastic baits, all buy three, get one free. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Bob Sorens is the reason Sorens Ford became home of the nice guys.
I used to cut Bob's hair. One time I was running very late. In the middle of his haircut, Bob says to me, "If you gotta leave now, it's okay. You can cut the other side when you get back from vacation."
109 years later, you can still feel that nice guy attitude from the Sorens family and the entire team at Sorens Ford in Brookfield. An exceptional buying and service experience. Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive. SOERENS.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this hour, a major arrest from the FBI.
I'm Adam Roberts. New Wisconsin tornado numbers with more storms on the way.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got delays southbound 43 from Capitol Drive solid all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River crossing. We've even got more delays from Oklahoma Avenue all the way down towards Howard. We've got the northbound side backing up from Howard Avenue all the way up through the Marquette to North Avenue. And we've also got a couple of accidents, one off the freeway on Highway 100 right around Capitol Drive. We've got lane closures in that area, so it's going to be difficult to get through there. We've also got a crash on 94 northbound, the collector ramp at Layton Avenue off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic.
Mild tonight, a chance of showers and storms late tonight, a low of 58. Tomorrow, breezy with more shower chances, a high of 68. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 62 degrees and sunny. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the FBI says they targeted the Mexican mafia and arrested 43 people in Southern California, with more arrests to come. FBI agent Akil Davis.
We took a decisive action today against the Mexican mafia. Others were already behind bars, and some remain at large. Fugitives who will soon learn that there is no place left to hide.
FBI Director Kash Patel wrote on social media the arrests include alleged murderers, drug dealers, and are member associates of a major gang.
President Trump indicating he's in no rush to end the war against Iran.
As he's holding out.
I want to take my time. We have plenty of time, and I want to get a great deal. I want to get a deal where our nation and the world is safe from lunatics with nuclear weapons.
When asked if he would ever use a nuclear weapon.
Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked?
Saying, quote, a nuclear weapon should never be used by anybody. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A teenager who was accused of being inspired by a documentary to kill his mother just pled not guilty by reason of insanity.
Reed Galinsky was 15 years old when police found his mother, Suzanne, dead from multiple stab wounds at their home in Franksville. He told police that he had been taking his brother's anxiety pills and came home from school one day with an urge to kill his parents. Galinsky said he then made a plan after watching the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix. Galinsky is supposed to stand trial in June, but a judge has also scheduled a competency hearing for the end of May. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
One of the people involved in a crash that led to the death of a family from West Allis is now heading to prison. A judge sentencing Trayvon Lawson to 5.5 years behind bars. This after pleading guilty to illegal gun charges tied to a police chase that happened last September. Prosecutors say Lawson was a passenger in a stolen SUV fleeing police when that car crashed into another vehicle near 35th and Vliet, killing a mother and her 2 sons. The accused driver in the case is themselves facing multiple homicide charges.
New storm data that just came in is shedding light on the severe weather that rolled through Wisconsin last week.
The National Weather Service has now confirmed 25 tornadoes across the state. 17 of those were in southeast Wisconsin. According to the State Climatology Office, Wisconsin experiences around 23 tornadoes in a typical year. The combination of tornadoes, heavy rainfall, and flooding causing damage across the area last week. As cleanup and recovery efforts continue, Governor Tony Evers is seeking help from the state's congressional delegation to obtain federal aid from the Trump administration. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Public Schools could soon be receiving new classroom support in the form of a State Department of Education grant. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casellia says to expect job openings after the district eliminated over 200 non-classroom positions, telling 1017 The Truth.
Nearly half of the folks who are in those current positions will be eligible to apply for those 100 positions that we'll have across the district that will work specifically on literacy instruction and also help our students who are special education get the services that they need and students who are bilingual.
Meanwhile, MPS and the Milwaukee Teachers Union remain embroiled in contract negotiations.
Coming up, the Bucks may have a new coach.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit freighter.com/ortho.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It was indeed a gut-wrenching loss for the Brewers this afternoon to wrap up their series in Detroit.
Uribe brings home the pitch, and this is a fly ball to left, hit deep. Back goes Lockridge at the track, wall gone. Torkelson walks off the Brewers with a solo home run off Uribe. And they'll win this series 2-1.
That's how it sounded on WTMJ. Spencer Torkelson with the big shot for a 5-4 Tigers win over the Crew. Milwaukee is back at home for a 3-game series with the Pirates. That gets underway Friday night as the Brewers find themselves 24 games in, 13-11 overall, but that's only good for 5th place in the NL Central, arguably the best division in baseball. ESPN Shams Charania reporting the Milwaukee Bucks are finalizing a deal to make Taylor Jenkins their next head coach. He spent 6 years as the front man for the Memphis Grizzlies after a year as an assistant in Milwaukee back in 2018 under then head coach Mike Budenholzer. And it is draft night in Steel City, round 1 of the 2026 NFL Draft kicking off later this evening in Pittsburgh. As of right now, the Packers' first selection will come at the number 52nd pick. That's in the second round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:09.
Get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. One day it's sunshine, the next it's wind, rain, or even snow. That's why your windows and doors have to handle everything in every season. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we design with that in mind. Built for durability, efficiency, and year-round comfort. And right now, we're making that comfort easier to afford. Order today and get 0% interest until 2030. Not just for a short time, no interest all the way until 2030. So you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without even paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step, helping you find the right fit for your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, with our 10-year limited warranty, you'll have peace of mind long after installation date. No interest until 2030, but only if you order by April 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2026.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow and Adam Roberts.
Wow. 5:10 on WTMJ. We have our friend of the show, Kyle Wallace. He's a GKB employee. He's on ESPN Milwaukee, and he is on the Kyle Wallace Truth to Power show from 12 to 1.
Yes, ma'am.
You're on so much. Okay, you're coming forward and talked on your show about an incident at McKinley Marina, downtown Milwaukee. You have a boat?
I do have a boat at McKinley
You said there was a
Marina.
racist incident that happened, and you didn't talk about it for months.
Yes.
And tell me why you're talking about it, and tell me what happened.
Yeah, so I didn't talk about it for months because, as you know, working in the media, we have access to a lot of different people. I have access to Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and I made him aware of the incident. He kind of joked and laughed about, he didn't joke and laugh about the incident. He more was like, oh, wow, you got a boat? Oh, wow, that's cool. And so I was like, yeah, I got a boat, but this happened to me. And so I decided not to come forward with the incident right away because I was trying to work behind the scenes. Because I don't want to make it a big deal because, to be honest, to me, it's embarrassing what happened to me, especially in front of my family. And, you have this guilt that you allow somebody to disrespect your family in that way, especially when you're talking about my mother who's, 70s and my aunt who's 70s. Like, you feel like you let them down. And so I really didn't want to talk about it. But then, I also wanted to protect David Crowley. I'm a black man running for governor, right? And him and Mandela Barnes have a chance to do something that we've never seen here in Wisconsin. And so I didn't want to say anything negative because I don't want to do anything that could potentially hurt their campaign or hurt them trying to make history. But then I had the realization is that after I continued to go through this process where they weren't giving me the answers, they were refusing to, really talk through it. I even had somebody tell me, Guy Smith from the director of parks.
Yep, Milwaukee County Parks.
Yeah, he told me, he didn't tell me, he told me through somebody from the Milwaukee County that he did not want to have a conversation with me because he felt like it would be a dumping ground.
That's interesting. I have a cell phone. Maybe I'll give him a call.
So that's what he said. He said he didn't want to have a dumping ground. And so
a dumping ground of complaints?
A dumping ground of complaints. He felt like my incident would have been a dumping ground of complaints.
What happened, Kyle?
So what happened to me at the marina, basically, I have a boat. Like I said, I went to the McKinley Marina to get gas just like I have done before. And this time when I go, I have my mother, who, again, almost 70, my aunt, who is in her 70s, my brother, who is almost 40, my cousin with her son, who is 3 years old, and my fiance. We go get gas at the marina. If anybody goes to McKinley Marina, usually it's a full-service gas pump. There was nobody there. There was a Ski-Doo that was there. Other than that, my boat was an actual boat, the only boat there. When the gas attendant saw me coming, he went into the gas actual little station area. So I had to tie my boat up myself. Whatever. It is what it is. I thought it was interesting. And then it came time to get gas, and typically, again, full-service gas station, and he took the pump and he set it down. And I said, oh, okay, you guys don't pump gas anymore? You guys don't do that anymore? He said, nope, we don't. I said, oh, okay. So I grabbed the gas pump. I started pumping gas. I went on my way. I thought it was different, but I said, hey, rules change, right? Policies change. I didn't think anything of it. So then, I'll untie my own boat, undock myself, and anybody knows about the McKinley Marina, they do a courtesy of trying to help people dock. I undock myself, push the boat off, and as I'm going, my family says, hey, look. There was a boat that came after ours that had two white gentlemen on it, where not only did he tie the boat up, he also pumped the gas. My family took photos of it because they were so upset and disgusted by what they felt was racism at that time.
And you posted that on 101.7 The Truth.
101.7 The Truth. You can see that also on YouTube, and it's on social media. And here is where the story gets worse, is because, again, I trusted and believed that this man wasn't being racist in the moment, and he wasn't trying to treat my family any differently. But then when I made a phone call, and I called the McKinley Marina the next day, and when we called McKinley Marina the next day, we asked, hey, are Marina members, are people allowed to pump their own gas? And we have the phone call recorded that we played it on 101.7 The Truth. We were told, nope, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. She actually laughed at the assertion that you can pump your own gas. She said it's full service. And so we asked, so you mean to tell me we're not ever allowed to pump our own gas? Oh, no. We have somebody who's there until 8 o'clock to pump the gas.
What was his demeanor towards you? I know that he put it down, but was he rude to you?
He was very cold. He wasn't mean and rude and disrespectful, but he was very much cold. It seemed like he was very avoidance of me, and it seemed like nonchalant, right? And so for me, what really made me upset is that typically when you see your elders, right, you see some older people on the boat, usually a lot of times when you just see elders, you're more respectful. And the fact that this man that day looked at me and didn't give a dang about the fact that I needed a little extra assistance and forced me to pump my own gas. And then immediately after I left, I literally was still in sight view to watch him tie up a boat and pump the gas and not care.
In front of your mom and your
in front of my family. It was a big, we have FCC, but you know what it is? It was middle finger. That's what it was. I felt like that was to me. And I felt like I can't control what's in people's heart. If you don't like black people, you are racist in your heart, that's fine. I don't agree with that. But when you have a job to do, you need to treat everybody with dignity and respect. If you don't like certain races, certain sexual orientations, you don't like whatever it is, then you should not have a job working in customer service, because at the end of the day, you are giving Milwaukee County a black eye. And our county and our people deserve much better than that. You deserve better than that, Julia, and you deserve better than that, Adam, because we are one Milwaukee.
And there's one more thing that you have that you're going to be discussing on your show when?
I will be discussing another incident that occurred at the McKinley Marina. I will be discussing that on Monday, and that one is egregious as well from a member of the marina this time. That unfortunate that, I just want to have a good time on my boat. I've been at the McKinley Marina for 4 years. I just want to have a good time.
And you know what should and shouldn't happen.
Yeah, you would
So
think.
I mean, come on, let's be professional here. I'll try to see if we can get Guy Smith to talk to you.
I would absolutely love to have a conversation with Guy Smith.
But the thing that you said where we don't want it to become a dumping ground, was that his words or was that another person's words?
Another person from the county
saying that
told me that he spoke directly to Guy Smith because he was going to try to get him to talk to me. Somebody who works in the county high up said, I'm going to talk to him. And he told me that the response was no. He felt like it would be a dumping ground.
Okay. All right. It's 5:16 on WTMJ. Kyle, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're as jazzed about summer as I am, I've got a great place you can get some ideas or refine some things that you've actually been thinking about. It's Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We check in with communities, people, events across the state, give you some super cool ideas of what you can do to get into summer. This week, we are joined by Manitowoc and iconic Ishnala Supper Club. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Just Google Mission 94.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. Learn the right way to handle firearms. Just Google Mission 94.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lazaga.
All right, we got problems in the Mitchell interchange. The off-ramp to Layton Avenue from the 94 northbound collector ramp is closed because of this crash here. So just be careful if you're going to be heading through that area. You'll have to make your way around that. We've also got this other crash off the freeway at Highway 100 and Capitol Drive. We got lanes blocked heading through that whole area, so you do want to be extra careful with that. Southbound on 43, heavy from Capitol Drive all the way down to the KK River crossing. Northbound slowing from Lincoln up to North. Westbound 94 is heavy from about 27th Street to Hawley Road, back on the brakes just west of Highway 100 to Sunny Slope, and then from Moreland Road all the way to Calhoun. More delays than beyond that from Springdale Road to Highway 164. On the eastbound side, pretty much bookend from 164 past Highway F to about Brookfield Road, and then you're back on the brakes from 84th Street through to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers and storms late, a low of 58. Tomorrow, chance of showers, a high of 68. Sunny Saturday and Sunday, a high of 65. And Monday, a chance of rain and storms. In the evening, likely a high of 70. He is the chief political reporter for TMJ4 News, and he's also political reporter and correspondent for Scripps News National. Charles Benson. Charles, thanks for joining us.
Are you sure you got the intro correct there, Julia Feathers?
What is yours? What is yours for, okay, so this is the We Energies. They laid they have 10 eggs with the peregrine falcon cams. There's all these different peregrine falcons. They laid their eggs. There's 10 of them, and they're naming it after anchors. And
they're looking for the names for the chicks. They're falcon chicks.
Yes.
And my nickname is Chick Benson.
See, I like that. I think that sounds almost like an old cop drama. Like, here comes Chick Benson.
I really want Julia Feathers. I'm not going to lie. I've been really voting for myself. I don't know if
Spamming the vote, which you can do anytime.
I've been
Just
spamming
text
the vote.
Falcon.
Yeah, text Falcon if you want to see everybody's and vote for Chick Benson too. You deserve that, Charles, more than me.
Some fun going on here.
Very fun. Hey.
Unlike the topic we're going to tackle.
I know, the war in Iran, and you talked to Ron Johnson yesterday, and Tammy Baldwin was on the Senate floor this week.
Yeah, so, this has been, we've passed now 50 days since military action was taken inside Iran and U.S. military action. And so I've been trying to get a hold of the senator because he's been out there talking a lot about it. He has phrased this situation we're in like many other Republicans. He doesn't think the U.S. has started a war against Iran. He claims Iran has been at war with us for 47 years, saying that, I think a term he used, I absolutely oppose the war that Iranians, the Ayatollahs, declared on America 47 years ago. They're sponsoring state terrorism and their pursuit of a nuclear weapon. So he does believe that the president is on the right track here to end both of those. And so he supports that effort to make sure that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon. But Senator Baldwin sees it completely different. So she went on the floor the other day. She thinks there's this fragile ceasefire, and it's been on again and off again on that. And, of course, an uncertain future, saying she wants to use this war powers resolution to end the entire war. She says the entire war has been unnecessary, illegal, and unwise, and we need to put a check on this president before it gets even worse. This really falls into what we're seeing from Republicans and Democrats in Congress. But did you guys see this national poll that Marquette put out yesterday?
We did.
I
we
did.
were looking at all those stats. Yeah.
Yeah, so, this is an unpopular war. They found that 75% of people actually do support what is the ceasefire right now, and that 68% disapprove of the way the president is handling this. So when I pressed Senator Johnson on, look, this War Powers Act, the resolution dates back to the 1970s, really was created because of the Vietnam War. And what you often get out of this is that, yes, presidents inform Congress that they have started a war or have made the notification. Where it gets tricky is where there is that 60-day window where congressional authorization is required to use force longer than 60 days. And you go back through a number of presidents who have used it and not used it. But what was interesting from Senator Johnson when I talked to him about that, he believes really public opinion may have the biggest sway here, knowing those numbers that we saw in the Marquette Law School poll, but also other polls. And Johnson told me the real restraint on any American president in a war is public opinion. And he says, I'm sure President Trump is feeling that right now. It's not an overly popular war, and that is the case. And, of course, the implication not only on the loss of life and those who have been injured among the American military, but we're also seeing the impact on gas prices and the costs of things here at home.
So then, Charles, if I can ask, so you mentioned that Marquette Law poll, and included within that there was the stat that there are fewer people seemingly who are throwing 100% of their political support, Make America Great Again movement behind the president. As it relates to the Senator Ron Johnson here from Wisconsin, do you get a sense that while he is still a staunch Trump ally, I don't think anyone would debate that maybe it's starting to read the room a little bit? You mentioned public opinion, that maybe we saw like a month ago he issued some criticism of the Trump budget, and also when the war in Iran started, he was a little bit iffy on that. Do you see maybe a little bit of a pullback from the senator?
Well, having a lot of conversations with Senator Johnson over the years, and even with this, I've seen some sound bites from him and some quotes around the Iran war. I mean, I think he became extremely concerned, extremely concerned when he started hearing President Trump talking about being more aggressive on the civilization and the infrastructure in Iran, and he was, and Senator Johnson pushed back on that. He did not want to see that part of the war to happen, and of course it hasn't happened yet since we're now under this ceasefire. So he has pushed back on the president on this, and you mentioned all the way back to his earlier concerns about what is described as the big beautiful bill. So I think Senator Johnson does speak out sometimes, but always appears to have fallen in line with the president, and he supports what he sees as the goal. He thinks the same goal what the president has right now, which is to make sure Iran doesn't have a nuclear bomb and perhaps to end all of this terrorist activity. But he doesn't know how that's going to happen right now, and especially if the thought process that there would be this uprising, that there would somehow overthrow the leadership there. That's not happening, and he knows this could be a long task here ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. He is chief political reporter for TMJ4 News, and he is national correspondent for Scripps News. And the only thing he might be running for is for Chick Benson to be named after one of our peregrine falcons. Or you can vote for Julia Feathers if you text Falcon to 855-616-1620. It'll take you to the whole thing. I'm not putting any pressure on anybody. I would love for people to vote for Chick Benson. Charles Benson.
There's 10 of them, so both of us can win.
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh my gosh, what if they had babies? Okay, Charles, thank you so much.
All right.
And with that, we move to the Annex Wealth Management market update. Everyone in the red today: the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500, all off between about 0.3% and 0.9% on the day. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
It's April, and if you're one of the over 700,000 people getting your annual Wisconsin Retirement System statement, Annex has something for you. If you have questions about your statement or how your WRS account should work with your overall retirement plan, join our planning and WRS experts on April 23rd for Understand Your WRS Pension Potential, a webinar hosted by Annex Wealth Management's Director of Financial Planning, Eric Strom. We'll walk through your statement, field any questions you have. That's Thursday, April 23rd at 1 in the afternoon. Register at events.annexwealth.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer and allows my dogs, husband, and me to enjoy our patio every season. Comfort Awnings is now offering their biggest promo ever. Get up to $1,000 off any awning or screen. That's right, start spring off right and get 10% off up to $1,000 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today, Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, want to talk about the insurance environment today. What should business owners and individuals understand right now about opportunities in today's insurance marketplace?
Thank you, Vince. There's a unique confluence of events that have shifted the market to favor the buyer today.
So that sounds like good news. What factors are coming together that has set up this favorable market?
Number one, most insurance company financial results were very strong in 2025. As a result, rates continue to decline for many lines of business. Lastly, the insurance distribution system is changing rapidly.
So, Jeff, how can listeners capitalize on what you're just talking about here?
Vince, you will not get the best price and terms without a solid, well-planned strategy. You need an insurance professional that understands these unique market dynamics. And lastly, you need an insurance professional that focuses on you, not one that's engulfed in selling their business or preparing it for a sale.
So, Jeff, I am hearing you say it's important who you work with, the right insurance partner.
Vince, it really is. R&R Insurance has a 50-year record of excellence in this market. We're not for sale, and we're client-focused when many others are really distracted.
What else does R&R Insurance do that sets you apart?
R&R Insurance will provide a better insurance buying experience. We'll use data, strategy, and our expert resources to help you control costs and maximize the value of both your commercial and your personal insurance program. We blend our elite resources with technology to create innovative and cost-effective insurance solutions. As a top 100 firm nationally, you get local expertise and local ownership working for you.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by MW Marine. Get out on the water.
MW Marine.
Ready for the water? Shop 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury. Lock in your deal now and hit the water sooner. MW Marine.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour. A new update on a mass shooting.
I'm Adam Roberts. A fire destroying a barn in Jefferson County.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We do have a crash westbound 94 at Highway F in Waukesha County off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. We also have more delays than on eastbound 94 coming in from Springdale Road past Barker Road, back on the brakes from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound's tight just through from 35th Street to Hawley Road, and then you're on and off the brakes basically from the county line all the way to Springdale Road. Southbound 43, a hefty ride from Capitol Drive pretty much all the way down to Lincoln, back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down towards Howard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storms starting to move through western Wisconsin, including a few severe thunderstorm warnings. They could fizzle out by the time they get to our area, but it will still rain overnight, a low of 58, high of 68 on Friday. Right now it's 61 at 5:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a huge fire destroyed a barn at an egg farm in Jefferson County.
Chicken barn on fire at West 2408, Highway 59, 2408, Highway 59, SMR Egg Farm, 3 west of Marsh Road.
Fire crews responded to Cold Spring Egg Farm in Palmyra just before 1:15 this afternoon. Highway 59 is still closed.
Meanwhile, one person dead, 5 others wounded in a shootout at the Mall of Louisiana in the state capital of Baton Rouge this afternoon. Here's Police Chief T.J. Morse.
We have 5 suspects in custody. This is still an ongoing investigation, and we're still looking for more people that may be involved.
Authorities say 2 groups of people had gotten into an argument at the food court before shots started firing. Authorities say it was not a random act of violence.
A family in Sussex turning tragedy into action.
It is such an unspeakable loss.
5-year-old Finn Katona was killed last year when he was struck by a school bus outside of his school. The Katona family has reached a confidential monetary settlement with the school district and bus company. But attorney Timothy Trechik says the family's focus is now on safety improvements, including a new initiative which aims to prevent similar tragedies.
Finn's rule will incorporate enhanced safety training for all student transportation of America bus drivers nationally, which encompasses approximately 23,000 drivers.
The new safety training is expected to roll out later this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. There could be a new head coach for your Milwaukee Bucks soon. ESPN's Shams Charania reporting the team finalizing a deal to make Taylor Jenkins their new head coach. The Bucks have not formally confirmed, Charania's reporting. Walk-off home run today dooms the Brewers 5-4 over against the Tigers. Crew back at home tomorrow to open a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And speaking of Pittsburgh, night 1 of the NFL Draft, about an hour and a half away from kicking off in Steel City. The Packers have 8 selections over 3 days, but none in the first round.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could in fact still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
5:37 on WTMJ. Do we have Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky? We do. Oh, I didn't see him on camera. Hi, Brian.
What's up? What's up, guys? Yeah, my camera's a little off the fritz here, but unfortunately, but Charles Benson was on, and I think he broke it. I don't know.
That's what we're gonna say. Hey, what's your peregrine falcon name that you might be named?
Brian Nansky.
Ooh.
You know, this is so fun. This is like back in high school when all the cool kids were at the table talking about what they were doing Friday night, and I was over at the table sipping my milk jug like, oh, I bet that sounds fun.
No, yeah. So the peregrine falcons at the We Energies power plants have laid 10 eggs, and they have decided to have a naming contest with all the news anchors. So I don't know what John's is. I forget what John's is.
Flown Mercure.
Very good. Flown Mercure. We have...
And news anchors used very, very lightly because I am the farthest from a news type of guy.
Please.
But yeah, basically, yeah, any various on-air folks in the Milwaukee area. And it goes for every station. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. I think it's a good idea for We Energies, obviously, to bring this to the forefront. But
yes,
yeah.
I said to... and then we have Chick Benson. We have Julia Feathers, and then Brian Egnansky. I said to Charles at the end that we could both be named. Charles was making me feel better because I know that Chick Benson will be it. And I said to Charles, what if they have babies? Julia Feathers and Chick Benson. I probably freaked him out.
Is that what? Yeah, I bet you did.
I said,
he got red in the face.
Babies. All right, bye. Oh,
that's our Charles Chick Magnet Benson. That's
yes,
what he
is.
Don't
we know it?
Chick Magnet. Wait until you see the Let's Talk events. The women are surrounding Charles.
Yeah.
It's
well,
crazy.
you know what Charles has is obviously he's got a very credible, established persona, and but he's quite easy to talk to. You know what I mean? Like he's very engaging. He not only listens, but he asks a lot. Like that's him in person. He genuinely is asking. So I think that name would fit him perfectly.
So text Falcon to 855-616-1620 if you want to vote. You are keeping an eye on the weather, by the way, for all of us, including the Falcon eggs, making sure that we're all safe tonight.
Yeah, I'm watching Storms of the West, and if we were like Madison and West, I'd be a little more concerned about severe weather. Really looks like this stuff fizzles out quite a bit before reaching us in southeastern Wisconsin. That's not to say we're not going to get any rain or rumbles of thunder, but I think it's going to be hard for us to get severe weather, which is great news. And quite frankly, there are some computer models that wipe this out completely for us later on tonight. So not a slam dunk for rain or severe weather. And I'm okay with that. I think we could use a break.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I know, Niz, this isn't in your jurisdiction necessarily, but this was not just a Southeast Wisconsin event we saw. Obviously, here we focus a lot on the flooding we saw in Milwaukee. We had all of the tornadoes that came through, but the storm event from last week really was statewide. I've spoken with some people in the Ringgold, Wisconsin area where they had an EF3 tornado that destroyed dozens of homes. Meanwhile, just today, residents in the northeast community of Shiocton are just getting now back to their homes after the Wolf River went over its banks by several feet. It really is statewide.
Yeah, I think about Shiocton, New London area. They had some terrible flooding, and they're going to be dealing with this for a while. I mean, that water, a lot of those homes were underwater for days, and who knows if if some of those homes could be a complete loss, underwater that long. So. It's a terrible situation. Ringgold, that was an EF3. I mean, that was a really strong EF3 too. It started like right in the western suburbs, Julia, up there, Weston area, Cronenwetter, and then worked its way east over towards Ringgold. So
wow, that's scary.
Yeah, big time tornado there. We had the most tornadoes in southern Wisconsin. However, our tornadoes were not of that magnitude. Mostly EF0s, EF1s. We had the EF2 that was in the Sussex area, but yeah, it could have been much worse. We definitely had the higher frequency, but severe weather definitely even more impactful in other parts of the state.
All right, let's walk through that 5-day. I will say, all smiles about this weekend. It looks pretty nice for late April.
Looks like an awesome spring weekend. Not like tropical summer stuff yet, but great weekend to get some yard work done, hopefully. So we'll start with tonight. Chance of rain mainly after midnight, maybe some thunderstorms. Again, that's a big maybe. Low temperature 58. For tomorrow, slight chance of showers back up to 68. Most of Friday's dry. Mostly sunny on Saturday, 57. Lakeside, 65 inland. Sunday, mostly sunny, 58. Lakeside, 65 inland. And then Monday, a better chance of rain and storms in the afternoon. Monday afternoon is the time frame, I think, to watch for severe weather for us. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. High temperature of 61 near the lake and 70 inland.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Brian, thank you.
That's Nest Nansky
Nest
to you.
Nansky.
No.
That's right, you're nasty.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Brian. 5:43 on WTMJ. Your 5-day forecast is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Loziga here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. Do you know the secret to losing up to a pound of fat every day? Well, at Milwaukee Weight Loss, they know the secret. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, with a risk of serious side effects. You got no prepackaged meals, no bars, no shakes, and get this, no exercising required. Their program helps reset your metabolism so that you can keep the weight off for good, with a coach for ongoing support, which definitely is something I need. Accountability, my friends, and consistency. Their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Lots of patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. I've lost 20 pounds myself on the program. And for a limited time, get $200 off with their spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Caladora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Conmawalk Dental Care. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is a great place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. From regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they offer emergency dentistry too. I make the drive from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc just to see Dr. Michaels and his fantastic staff. They're that good. So call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment today, or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. That's 262-567-7224 or drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
546 on WTMJ. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga. How are we shaking up?
Things are slow on southbound 43 from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to about Beecher Street. The northbound side slowing down out of the Marquette up to North Avenue. Southbound 41 heavy from Silver Spring to Capitol Drive. Northbound from Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. Eastbound 94, we've got delays from about 76th Street all the way through to 35th. Westbound is just a bit tight right through the Stadium interchange to Hawley Road. Also, we have a crash on westbound 94 right about at Highway F in Waukesha County. It's off on the right shoulder, so you want to be extra careful heading past that point. And then we've got delays on the bypass, southbound from the Zoo down to Lincoln, and then just south of National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange. Stays heavy until you get to 51st Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
So, Julia, you and I have been in this game for a fair deal of time. We've had to cover police situations at various points in our careers. I'd say 99% of the time, a reporter is at the scene of where an alleged crime has happened well after the actual incident in question has occurred, and then you hear just hours ago, blah, 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 something was happening at this intersection. It's very rare that you find yourself in a situation that is actively unfolding right in front of your face. But that is exactly what happened to me yesterday evening after I left our station here in downtown Milwaukee. So many people know by now I'm a bike commuter every single day, pretty much ride my bike to and from my house and work. And so I had just literally a minute ago from what I'm about to share left where we keep our bike locker here at the Avenue and had rounded to the left and I'm heading north on Plankinton. This is right over towards the Riverside Theater. There's Moe's Irish Pub. Moe's, a place for steaks, is just up the street. And as I get to the intersection, I find myself, as I'm looking through, there's a four-way stoplight right there, and I look forward, and all of a sudden I see a man, hands in the air, and multiple squad cars with cops behind the doors in an active stance. If you text WATCH right now to 855-616-1620, I don't use the word exclusive video very lightly, but this was my video of the scene as this individual, 22-year-old man, is being arrested via a slow walk back. So if you're watching along on YouTube, you can see the cops are behind their doors, and this man in a blue hoodie is walking back. And Julia, I'm not making this up, not once, but twice during this encounter, the man hits a dance move.
No.
As he's backing up towards the cops. Not once, but twice, which, without making too many speculative generalizations, it would seem as though this may not be his first instance, this individual dealing with law enforcement, and that he felt so emboldened to hit a couple of dance moves while he's being told to back up, hands up where we can see them.
Okay, text WATCH to 855-616-1620. That's our Citing Limited Talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Yeah, he has his hands up. Did he have a weapon? What was going on?
So I did a little bit of digging with the Milwaukee Police Department. We did try to get some information, and we did learn more about what led up to this particular incident, because at the moment when I was speaking with the cops right after they had arrested him, no one wanted to talk. It's ongoing. We're trying to get more information. Well, later on, we would find out that the suspect is being investigated right now for an alleged shooting that happened just minutes before this in a very busy part of downtown Milwaukee. Police indicating that the individual is alleged to have fired a single shot, just one shot, from a fully automatic gun on the 1000 block of MLK Drive, or Old World 3rd Street, if you're more familiar with that. And this is where, think the Brat House, Usingers, Maters is just up the street. This is all on that block just north of Pere Marquette Park, right in downtown Milwaukee. Was alleged to have fired a single shot and then immediately fled from the scene. And then just 3 minutes later, I found myself face to face with this active situation.
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a standoff because they were giving commands through a loudspeaker.
And if you watch the video, I don't want to speculate as to whether or not the police had their guns drawn or if it was non-lethal ammunition, maybe a taser, etc. Because it was hard to see. I'm about a half block away from where this is happening. And there's also, I think there was about 24 people at this very busy intersection downtown also watching all of this unfold. And I also want to say, like, arrests in Milwaukee and even downtown, nothing new. Like, you see it happen. People will be put into the back of a cop car. As I mentioned, I've been covering many of these before.
I thought you were going to say I've been in the back of a cop car.
No, I have not been in the back of a cop car.
I have, but for reporting.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. So we do not yet know the identity of this individual. I do know he's a 22-year-old man. I am working behind the scenes to get more information into what led up to the alleged shooting that precipitated this situation. But we do know charges are being referred to the district attorney's office and that the man is 22 years old and was arrested right after this incident happened.
So we'll keep this up. You text WATCH to 855-616-1620. WATCH to our Setting Limit Talk and text line whenever or wherever you're listening. Know we're live on YouTube. You can watch the show, see what's happening in the studio, comment along with us, and you can see this exclusive video that Adam has of this man who is walking with his hands up towards police, and now we know he is accused of firing a shot in a very, very busy area of downtown Milwaukee. I mean, busting moves, dancing in the middle of, that is nuts. We'll keep that up. All right, almost an hour to the NFL draft beginning. It's draft week of the NFL, and the Packers currently own 8 selections in the history of this iconic franchise. Who are the greatest picks of all time for the Packers? WTMJ's Greg Matzik charts his top 5.
The Green Bay Packers have drafted over 1,000 players since the draft became a thing in 1936. In the 1940s, the draft had as many as 32 rounds. Today, the draft is a 7-round event in which 257 players will be selected. While general managers aim to bat 1,000, not all Packers picks have worked out.
79, Tony Mandarich. He's the finest offensive lineman I have ever seen. He's a monster.
But many have. 89 drafts, over 1,000 players, 13 Hall of Famers. These are the best of the best.
5. Leroy Butler.
It's picked off by Butler. Butler to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in for the touchdown.
A second-round draft pick in 1990, Butler played all 12 seasons of his NFL career in Green Bay. A 4-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl champion, a member of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team, recording 20.5 sacks in his career and 38 interceptions, a game-changer, all-league performer, Hall of Famer, and the inventor of the Lambeau Leap.
4.
Jim Taylor.
Taylor was unbelievable. He was a fierce competitor.
A second-round pick, Taylor was a 3-time first-team All-Pro and NFL MVP in 1962. Jim Taylor became the first player in NFL history to record 5 straight 1,000-plus yard rushing seasons.
I just tried to play at a very high level of intensity and play to my potential.
He liked to hit people. Usually a running back breaks the line of scrimmage and looks for the end zone. Jimmy looked for the first safety he could run over.
A Super Bowl champion and member of the NFL's All-Decade team in the 1960s. Taylor's 81 rushing touchdowns remain a Packers franchise record. Taylor currently ranks second on the Packers franchise rushing yardage list with 8,207. plus another 1,500 receiving yards.
3.
Boys, Greg.
Vince Lombardi famously called Greg, quote, the finest player I ever coached. Greg played 15 of his 16 seasons in Green Bay, was a 7-time first-team All-Pro. Greg was also incredibly durable, missing just one start over an 11-year span from 1959 to 1969.
On this play against Chicago, Forrest executes the difficult seal-off block perfectly.
A member of the 1960s All-Decade team, Greg, in 2019, was named to the NFL's 100th anniversary team. The only player ever drafted by the Packers to make that team.
The guy was just fantastic.
A second-round pick in 1956.
2.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh my, that may be one of the great throws ever made.
A first-round pick in 2005, Rodgers spent 18 seasons with the Packers, winning 4 MVPs.
Very few people in the history of this game could make this throw that Aaron Rodgers just made.
A Super Bowl champion, an MVP of the Super Bowl, and a 4-time first-team All-Pro. Rodgers' 59,005 passing yards is an all-time mark for the Packers. His 475 touchdowns, the most in franchise history.
Look at this throw. Unbelievable.
4 times during his tenure with the Packers, Rodgers led the NFL in quarterback rating and is among the most historically accurate quarterbacks to ever live.
1.
Bart Starr. The measure of the player is how well he plays under pressure when you have to win.
Starr played 16 seasons of professional football, all with the Packers. He was a 3-time All-Pro and the MVP of the league in 1966. 4 times, Starr led the league in quarterback rating and completion percentage. His 5 championships, more than any quarterback over the league's first 96 seasons. 2 Super Bowl wins, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Starr lost his first playoff game in 1960 and never lost in the postseason again, posting a career 9-1 mark.
I think the quality of a great leader, of a great quarterback, is being able to deliver when you have to.
Bart Starr was the 200th overall selection in 1956, falling to the Packers in the 17th round. So much history, so many great players. Who's on